बदला बदले का अपना मजा होता है और बदला एन वक्त पे लिया जाए उसका और मजा होता है। एक अंग्रेजी में कहावत है, रिवेंज इज अ डिश बेस्ट ईटन कोल्ड। आपका थोड़ा मेमोरी जॉग कराना चाहता हूँ। 2011 ओडीआई वर्ल्ड कप वानखेड़े स्टेडियम फाइनल हुआ था मुंबई में, जिसमें इंडिया ने जीता था और जबरदस्त जीत हासिल की थी। जिस टीम को पीटा था इंडिया ने वो है श्रीलंका। आज फिर श्रीलंका वर्सेस इंडिया उसी स्टेडियम में मैच होगा। जाहिर सी बात है कि श्रीलंका चाहेगा कि वो इंडिया को हरा के बदला ले पाए, लेकिन क्या ये मुमकिन है? सीएस साहब हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं, मुस्कुराते हुए हैं और उनको पता है आज कौन जीतेगा। सो लेट्स ओपन विद योर प्रेडिक्शन सर।
सर कैसा बदला? उनके पास वो घोड़े ही नहीं है जो दौड़ सकेंगे युद्ध के मैदान में। उनकी टीम के अगर अभी हालत देखो तो मुझे लगता है कि अफगानिस्तान तो खैर बहुत ही अच्छी, वो तो सेमीज भी जा सकती है अगर उनका लक थोड़ा फेवर करे। बट अदरवाइज इस टूर्नामेंट की सबसे खराब टीम अगर कोई है वो श्रीलंका है। उनके कप्तान इंजर्ड हो गए, उनको जो कप्तान को बनाया उनकी पहले दो मैचेस में जब कप्तान नहीं थे तो फिर भी परफॉर्मेंसेस ठीक थी, उसके बाद से तो वो भी ढह गए। यानी आप जिस पर प्रेशर दोगे वही घोड़ा चलना से बना कर देगा। बहुत बुरी हालत है, लेकिन हाँ एक चीज है कि बस थोड़ा सा कहते हैं ना कि ध्यान रखना पड़ता है ऐसे ऐसे लोगों से कि आपका नुकसान ना कर जाए। आपको रन रन रेट का भी ध्यान रखना है। अगर आपको नंबर वन जाना है इंडिया को तो रन रेट भी मैटर करेगा, तो उस लिहाज से उनको खेलना पड़ेगा। और श्रीलंका साउथ अफ्रीका से सीखना पड़ेगा लास्ट 10 ओवर में कैसे खेला जाता है।
सो सीएस साहब ने हमारे बदले की कहानी की धज्जियां उड़ा दी पहले ही। मैं तो सलीम जावेद का टच दे रहा था। खैर कोई बात नहीं। तो So CS has predicted that India should easily win this game, and Sri Lanka has many problems. We'll come to that, and he's absolutely correct. Where the points table are, so Sri Lanka is currently seventh with 4 points from 6 games, but it came off a major setback against Afghanistan, and the 96 champions now must win all remaining games to stay in contention for a playoff spot, starting with India and then against Bangladesh and New Zealand. So again, New Zealand will be a very tough team to beat. So it looks like curtains for Sri Lanka. But as they say in cricket, you never know what happens. Um, CS, let's begin with Sri Lanka, and it has been hit by injuries also. So they have lost some key players, including their captain Dasun Shanaka. So in his absence, Kusal Mendes took over, and unfortunately, it has affected his batting. In the first two games, when Shanaka was the captain, Kusal Mendes smashed 198 runs. Since then, he has managed just 70 in 4 innings at a strike rate of 76. And they even had to recall Angelo Matthews, the old man at 36, who did such a fantastic job. Over to you, CS.
देखिए एंजेलो मैथ्यूज जैसे ही आए वापस मुझे लगा कि शायद बेटर होगा, टीम में थोड़ी स्टेबिलिटी आएगी, लेकिन नहीं। वो देखिए ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे कहीं पर बैठे हुए थे, खा पी रहे थे और उनको सडनली रिकॉल आया कि प्लीज आपको ड्रॉप कर दिया था, गलती हुई, अब इंजरी है, आइए खेलिए। उनको थोड़ी देर तो यही लगी समझने में कि मुझे वर्ल्ड कप फिर से खेलना। ही वाज वन ऑफ द फैंटास्टिक प्लेयर्स श्रीलंका एवर हैड, बट coming back to this World Cup, I think he is not fit to be, here. He's a contributor everywhere, आपको जब उनको चांस मिलेगा कंट्रीब्यूटर है, लेकिन उनमें वो स्पार्क नहीं है। उनमें वो पुराने जो एंजेलो मैथ्यूज 5-6 साल पुराने वाले थे वो खत्म हो चुका है। तो इस लिहाज से मुझे मुझे जो सबसे लगता है कि उनके कप्तान को जो इंजरी हुई थी, आई थिंक वहां से उनका डाउनफॉल शुरू हुआ। अदरवाइज एक मैच उन्होंने कितना अच्छा चेज करके जीता था। तो उस लिहाज से आई एम जस्ट प्रिडिक्टिंग कि दे आर आउट ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट, बट ओनली थिंग इज उनको किस मार्जिन से मारा जाएगा। उनको बाकी की टीमों से भी अभी खेलना है, उनके भी मार्जिन मैटर करेंगे, खासकर साउथ अफ्रीका के।
सीएस, एक और इंजरी जो श्रीलंका को बहुत तगड़ा झटका पहुंचा वो था वनिंदु हसरंगा का। एन एक्सीलेंट ऑलराउंडर, वेरी गुड स्पिनर, a lower order, middle order bat who can do terrific stuff. Again, he's been out.
हथरंगा, यस, वेरी प्रॉमिसिंग। और इंडिया को अगर आपको याद हो, जब गए थे हम श्रीलंका में छोटी सी सीरीज के लिए वनडे, तो उसमें भी उन्होंने तंग किया था, विकेट्स भी निकाले थे मिडल ऑर्डर के। लेकिन वही बात है, मैंने कहा ना, एक या दो प्लेयर से आप वर्ल्ड वर्ल्ड कप जीतने वाली टीम नहीं बन सकते। 2011 उनकी अगर वो टीम की लाइनअप देखे, फ्रॉम महिला जयवर्धने टू कुमारा संगकारा टू एवरीबडी, वो टीम ऐसी होती है कि जिसमें आपके कम से कम 8 से 9 मैच विनर्स होते हैं। जैसे इंडिया का भी लग रहा है, साउथ अफ्रीका का लग रहा है, लगता है कि 8 नंबर 9 नंबर पे भी वो T10 T20 खेलना शुरू कर देते हैं 30 ओवर के बाद। वो तो पहले T20 खेलते हैं, फिर लास्ट में 10 ओवर में T10 खेलते हैं। उनकी एनर्जी बढ़ती जाती है, उनकी पावर बढ़ती जाती है। ये देखिए, आपको सीखना पड़ेगा। जो बास्बॉल वाली जो हम बात किया था हमने एक प्रोग्राम में, कि कैसे टेस्ट मैच को बास्बॉल बना करके खेल रहे थे ब्रेंडन मैकुलम इंग्लैंड की टीम के साथ। मुझे लगता है कि वनडे का भी एक रीडिफाइन करना पड़ेगा आपको, और लास्ट में आपको T20 ही नहीं, T10 T5 ये सब खेलना पड़ेगा, जो कि साउथ अफ्रीका शायद न्यू डायमेंशंस दे रही है इस पूरी गेम को, जो कि मर रही थी गेम। देवर लॉट ऑफ स्पेकुलेशन इस, क्या ये लास्ट वर्ल्ड कप तो नहीं
Right.
होगा, और बहुत सा चल रहा था। तो मुझे लगता है साउथ अफ्रीका संभालने की तरफ जा रही है उसको।
Okay, now where India is concerned, if they beat Sri Lanka, they will become the first team to qualify for the semis, and which should happen. Let me go on to the pitch report quickly. It is expected to be a batting paradise. A high-scoring encounter can be expected, and therefore opting to bowl first and having a target in sight could prove to be a wise decision. CS on the pitch.
वानखेड़े की पिच ऐसा लगता है अरूप जैसे साउथ अफ्रीका के लिए बनी है। वहां 2 मैचेस खेले, 384 390 कितना कितने रन लगा दिए। मुझे लगता है कि बिल्कुल डरबन से आपने वहां से पिच को उठा करके लाए हैं, जो सुखा दी गई है, और वो अपने हिसाब से खेल रहे हैं। इट्स ए फैंटास्टिक पिच। वानखेड़े कभी मैंने इतना बैटिंग ओरिएंटेड नहीं देखा है। ऑफ कोर्स मुंबई की पूरी रणजी ट्रॉफी का देखो तो लंबे लंबे स्कोर 600 700 वो दिखते हैं, लेकिन वानखेड़े में जो एक चीज होती है कि इनिशियल ओवर्स में बहुत स्विंग, बिकॉज बिल्कुल मैरिन ड्राइव के साथ है, स्विंग दिखती है बॉल में, बिकॉज ब्लैक सॉइल होती है, तो थोड़ा सा बॉल भी अपने कर्तव्य करती है बीच के ओवर्स में, लेकिन वो नहीं दिख रहा। और पूरी और साथ में ये भी फर्क है, मैंने कहा ना कि साउथ अफ्रीका न्यू स्टाइल से, न्यू अप्रोच से खेल रहे हैं। उनकी अप्रोच शुरू के, शायद किसी को अगर बचना है तो शुरू के 20-30 ओवर में तो आप बच सकते हो, जो कि वो क्विंटन डी कॉक नहीं होने देते। उसके बाद तो वो इतनी बुरी तरह से मार रहे हैं किसी भी ऑपोजिशन को कि उनको
Right.
बचना मुश्किल है।
Okay, let's hop on to the weather. Now, the weather will be hot. It will be around a maximum of 35 degrees. No sign of rain. Humidity level is another factor, like we've been talking about, since it is adjacent to the marine drive. So, in the evening, the breeze picks up. It becomes very pleasant. But the humidity level will be around 46%. CS, the point that bothers me is that where these teams are concerned, which have come in from the UK, from Australia, maybe not South Africa, but the Kiwis also. There's been a lot of crib about कि गर्मी बहुत है, यहाँ ह्यूमिडिटी है। आपके वहां पे जब लोग जाते हैं तब तो ठंड के मारे हालत खराब हो जाती है। उस दिन सुनील गावस्कर took a dig at Ian Smith saying that I was there for a week in Dunedin and I never saw the sun even once. So should the weather be a topic of discussion?
Well, if you're not acclimatized to Mumbai kind of, weather, I think it bothers you. And even for people like us who go there for, a couple of days and then come back, even to cover a match, it becomes difficult. If you're sitting in the AC rooms, obviously it's okay. But the moment you go out till say 5:30 in the evening, it is almost difficult to bear that kind of humidity. So again, this is something that South Africa have acclimatized to, so nicely, and this is something you have to learn it from them. You have to keep your body hydrated. You have to keep, sipping water or other fluids, and then make sure that you don't lose your energy level so quickly.
Okay, let's come on to the probable best batters for India. The obvious names are Rohit Sharma, and he has scored 479 runs in his last 8 games, is an excellent nick at the top. Virat Kohli got a duck against England and may have been a jolt to him, but he has scored 354 runs. KL Rahul, CS's favorite man, on a difficult pitch against England, he scored 39 runs, and overall he has scored 216 runs. And KL Rahul is that one guy to watch out for by the opposition because he's one guy who can anchor an innings extremely well. Over to you, CS.
Well, KL Rahul is batting well. There is no doubt about that. I have problems about his, obviously, when he's number two wicket keeper, that he should not be keeping wickets. But I have a problem when you don't, reward the Ishan Kishan kind of person who scored so nicely and so effectively against Pakistan when he saved you from that embarrassment, in Asia Cup. But he was not rewarded. If Shreyash Iyer, if he's not performing or if he's not looking in the best of the Knicks, you can always include, Ishan Kishan at number 3, number 4, number 5. He can open, he's a fantastic player. But instead of rewarding, I think you keep on giving chances to five, almost 6, 7 chances you have given to Shreyash Iyer, after missing the initial one. And no point that I mean, at this point of time, I don't hope that they are going to change their, winning 11. But this is probably the last chance because this is not the very key game, or I'm not expecting, or even the team management is not expecting Team India to lose this game at least.
Okay, where the probable best bowlers are concerned for India, three obvious names pop up: Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami. We did a show yesterday on Mohammad Shami, and he has taken 9 wickets in just 2 games. And in the World Cup, he has 40 wickets in just 13 innings. Kuldeep Yadav, the point CS keeps making is the left-arm spinner has taken 10 wickets, but possibly stands overexposed. But we would expect this same combination to go in against Sri Lanka.
Yes, almost same. If you can make little bit of changes, then obviously rest Kuldeep. Not that, it should be he's overexposed or something, but at least give Ashwin, some practice. Because sitting out and then bowling at the nets doesn't give you that confidence. At least you can have a look at Ashwin again. But again, this is difficult, or we are probably expecting too much.
Let's hop on to Sri Lanka, and among the batters, the names that pop up are basically three. Pathum Nisanka, and he has been in excellent form. He's only the second player after Shubman Gill, who has scored more than 100 runs in ODIs in 2023, and he has scored 289 runs and has scored 4 half-centuries in this World Cup alone. So that is Nisanka. Then we come to Kusal Mendes, the stand-in captain. He was doing well, but ever since he became the skipper, his form has dropped. He has scored 268 runs so far, and he has the ability to take the fight to India. Then there is Sadira, and he has been the best batter for Sri Lanka in this tournament. Highest run scorer, has scored 331 runs. But like you're saying repeatedly, CS, that it is going to be a bridge too far against India.
Well, Nisanka, most of the runs that he has scored out of those 1,000 runs, more than I think 80-85% scores he has scored on his own pitches. That's been a problem with Sri Lanka also. The board is almost bankrupt. They are not getting enough exposure. They are not touring too much, and then they are not getting the key matches. You have to understand in the world cricket also. I don't know how ICC is placing it, but bilateral and all these series, if India is going to Sri Lanka, they will be only be playing either three, 1 days or one test, or even without test, they are coming back. So when this is a kind of problem with the मतलब कि जो कहते हैं ना fringe teams, fringe in the sense Sri Lankan kind of team. If we are going to Australia, England, New Zealand, everywhere, we are playing lot of Test cricket, and that's where the real cricket lies. So this has been a problem with Afghanistan, with all this Holland. They don't get any matches, even if they have been inducted into the Test arena, but they don't get enough exposure. The main exposure get are only been between the 4 or 5 teams. That's all.
An interesting stat that we've dug out for the viewers is that Mahila Jayawardene, who scored a century for Sri Lanka in the 2011 final, is the team's batting consultant. And he would be aiming to motivate the current lineup not only for this match, but also to qualify for the 2025 Champions Trophy qualification. And only the top teams from here will qualify. You think Mahila's presence will make any difference?
मुझे एकदम जो ऐसे आप कह रहे थे इल बी मोटिवेटिंग, मुझे एकदम वो गांव का ध्यान आया। किसी एक बेचारे सीकिया पहलवान को कई बार ना पीठ पर मार मार के बोलता है, अरे बेटा तेरे में बहुत दम है, जा बैठ जा, और बेचारा बहुत पिटता है। And same thing, I mean, you cannot motivate a team like this, who has no bowlers, no batters, no effective all rounders. You can only motivate them till a पॉइंट कि आप जाइए अच्छी फील्डिंग कीजिए, आप जाइए और पूरा जान लगा दीजिए, बट जान लगाने के बाद भी अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट वन गुड मैच वेयर दे स्कोर्ड ऑलमोस्ट 320 or whatever, chase that much of score, I think they have not done enough to boost any confidence within themselves.
Any particular reason for this dramatic decline of Sri Lanka? Because
I think
at a
it's a
point in time,
generational shift also, after Matthews and everybody who have gone. I mean, it started with from 2012 itself, after 2011 World Cup when
CS, what
Kumara
about the bench
Sangakkara.
strength? Are we saying they don't have any bench strength?
That looks like. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been to Sri Lanka for after 2011 in a way, but their domestic is in tatters, and also you have to understand after failing to get their league, their IPL kind of league where India refused to send any players, current players and all. They became almost bankrupt. They were under pressure, lot of financial pressure, and I think that has affected because I have spoken to one Sri Lankan friend of mine who's a very senior journalist there. He says that it's not the same situation which used to be there between 2000 or 2000, between 2000 and 2011 after all this Rana Tunga and everybody. There was a golden generation that came up, but after that, unfortunately, it's not the same thing.
Okay, so it's a wrap from our side, and enjoy the match. And it is very, very clear that, well, almost 99% India should win this match at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. The scene of
But interesting thing is, Arup, that Pakistan is coming up, and so is Afghanistan. They both can qualify if Pakistan win next two games and improve their average. If they win in 35 overs or something, I was reading it somewhere. They could be a threat, and so is Afghanistan. You never know what is going to happen there.
And CS, like the typical astrologer, has been predicting that एक बार हार जाना चाहिए हमारे लिए बेहतर होगा, लेकिन ऐसा लगता ही नहीं है. अब सीधे semis में इंडिया जाएगा, and we'll hope for the best and pray for the best and hope that what happened in 2019 doesn't happen again.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Thank you, CS, for your time, and we'll be back with lots more.